Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications as I'm always here to create a new content for you. Alright, in this lesson we will start inheritance. Let's switch our branch to development, solution explorer, right click on solution, add new project, select the console application. Let's give a name now, YouTube C Sharp dot inheritance. Yep, perfect. Let's continue. Let's create. Let's delete everything. Right click on project, set as startup project. Perfect. Alright guys. Now I mentioned a little bit our previous lesson about inheritance. Now we're going to go through with the deep information inheritance. First of all, I'm going to start to give an explanation, and while I was creating this explanation, I'm going to tell you the main logic about the inheritance. Previous lesson, if you would like to use the method of a class, you can add this class as an inheritance, so you can use it, right? This is one way to use inheritance, and there is another ways, of course. Let's say we have a class which contains client information, and let's make public the access modifier. Okay, and also we have a class, let's say this is supplier. Perfect. So these two, client and supplier, both of them is company, right? So let's create a another class with company. So we use inheritance for common informations. So client is a company, right? Supplier is a company as well. So I'm going to create a parent-child relation between this client and supplier, this class and this class. So how is going to work that? So I'm going to build some properties, some features in my company. I'm going to give a name, title, and I'm going to give an address property. So the client or supplier, it doesn't matter. Those two has both title and address, right? So just imagine if I didn't give a, if I'm not using an inheritance, so I have to give this two, and I'm gonna delete it, right? Let's make it comment because I'm gonna use it back. So let's continue first. Okay, so client has, I'm gonna make it simple. It can be much more um, bigger with lots of properties. Let's give integer uh, our no customer balance. Let's say this one, our balance. So we have two common property and one different one. So all we need to do is take these shared properties in one another one and delete them from here. So it makes much more easy to manage our properties, our classes, company, What does that mean? What now? How are we going to use that? Let's create a client object and assign to a reference, right? Let's give a client name communication ltd, for example. New client. All right, let's try to see all properties. As you can see, yes, click your only properties section, title, address, customer balance. It means even I created an object of client class, I will able to see title and address as well because I use parent-child relation and I'm able to reach those two. If I make it private, I'm not able to reach them, as you can see. Alright, let's take this back. Perfect. Let me have a look at my notes. Alright, let's delete it. Or let's type them all and keep as a record for you. This is address. This is customer balance, right? Make the FFF. Oh, this is integer. Okay, let's save it. Let's continue with the. Let me have a look. My notes. Okay, we have two different terms: base class and derived class. Okay, what's base class and what is derived class? Let's create two classes called base class and derived class. Okay, so if derived class having an inheritance from base class, we call the previous class the base class and the subclass derived class. This is how we call that, right? Let's create much more lower class, which is relation with derived class. Now what's happening here? So in this situation, first base class is going to be created, then derived class, then lower class is going to be created. To see that, guys, I can add a console write line. We need a method, right? This is my bad, sorry. Wait, method. I am coming from base class. Let's copy all of them. Actually, yeah, copied all of them. Derived class, lower class. And let's call them now. Which one is the lower class? Lower class, test, new lower class, test. Let me have a look. We need to make them public to reach them. All right. Method. Perfect. Is there anything should I do here? I'm going to run this method here. Let's type his method lower, method derived, method base, and let's bring them all. Let me have a look quickly. Actually, we need to add those. We did something wrong. Yeah, let's add those to our constructor. So we need to see which one is created first, right? We need to add those to the constructor. You know how to create the constructor, our previous lesson. Okay. I'm going to run application now, and its lowercase is created. We need to see. Okay. As you can see, guys, base class is created first, then derived class created, then lower class created. Because these two have relation between two, and these two have relation. So to create those classes, it started from the beginning and second and third one. This is how the relation and order is working between inherited class. Perfect. And also just type here test and see the classes. Oh, sorry. Let's see the classes here. Let's create a public void test. Alright. Let's call prop property. Let's say this base. Oops, my bad. Click wrong button. Let's call this base property, and this is derived property. Okay, let's try to call them. My property and my property derived. We can able to reach all of them, all the way back, right? And we can assign them. Perfect. Let me have a look the next one. Yeah, we can add some constructor with parameter and see how is going to act. Okay. Let's add some. Let's delete them or make comment. Okay, alright. So I'm going to add string text. Alright. Let's add a string here. And I'm going to use this. This means this is point this class. So I'm going to select this string text. So I'm going to use this keyword. Okay, this text equal to text coming from my constructor. Okay, perfect. So how am I supposed to use send a variable to base class. Only thing I need to do is define base, open your parentheses, and string text. Let me have a look. We need to define, okay, just a second. Yep, string text, and we're going to send this text to the base. So we have another constructor here. So we need to do the same thing. We need to send this text to base, and this text has to be given here. Once we created our lower class, let's have a look. It's asking us a text, which I'm going to give now. Alright, it is going to be hello. So when I gave this hello as a string, it's going to be assigned here, and it's going to send to the back, send to the back. We're going to receive this text here. Now I would like to see how is that going to work. Alright, so we send this text. How can we able to see this text? Let's open this constructor and give text here. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. Run the application. Okay, it's working. Now let's have a look. Where is this text? Our text is given here. As you can see, our text is added to lower class hello. So come to the lower class. This is string text, right? We assign the data to our variable, and it is sent to the base. Which base? Derived class. Okay, this is derived class, but this is base of this class. This is derived of that class. So this text now here, and we sent it to the original base class, and we write under the sequence. Let's continue. We're going to have the answer hello here. Alright, perfect. Hopefully you understand how we can send the parameter all the way back to the base class. Okay, I am going to continue with the virtual methods and override methods. We already finalized our methods for a long time ago, but in this section we need to I had to show you the inheritance to show you how we can use virtual and overriding methods. Okay, so I'm going to create two classes, and I'm going to assign some method. Let's add class product, or just example. Perfect. Let's assign a void method. Let's print a text hello, and also I'm going to assign a property which is string. Just say name. Perfect. Let's create another class which is called test, and let's inheritance example. Okay, so what is virtual, what is overriding? As you can see, we define a method and property. Once we use inheritance and once we create parent-child relationship between these two class, we would like to overwrite methods and properties. So how we able to do that? If we add virtual keywords, we able to overwrite this method. To do that, type overwrite, and you will able to see overridable methods here. So the name our method is method. I'm going to select it, and as you can see, the structure has been created. Why we received base.method here? If you didn't do anything, just leave it like that. Compiler doesn't want crash your application. You can delete it, and you can write new overwritten codes here. So I'm gonna change hello world. I have overwrite base method. Alright. So once I create test, just give it name t, new test, t dot method. When I run the application, I will see this message. Okay, let's have a look now. Hello world, I have an overwrite base method. Perfect. Let's continue with the overriding property. To do that, you can add virtual, right? And you can override again, and you will able to see overridable all elements. If you click that one, you will able to see the structure, and you can delete those and add new value. For example, let's return. You know how to create property, or we don't need to return because lambda has been used. If you use curly brackets, you can use return. Let's use this one. I have been changed by overriding. Okay, overriding. Perfect. Let's delete this. If you would like to lambda, you don't need to use curly brackets and return. Just use whatever you need. Okay, so I'm gonna use, this is return. I'm gonna use the base value. I'm not gonna change it, but return value is going to be this one. So let's t dot name. Actually, I'm not gonna use it like that. Let's write on the sequence t dot name and see what's gonna happen now. As you can see, I have been changed by overriding. We have a default value for property. Hopefully you understand virtual and overriding methods. And the last thing I would like to tell you about sealed classes and sealed method. Okay, let me show you sealed method first. I guess I'm not quite sure, but what if I add sealed here? Cannot override inherit. Okay, let's delete it. Okay, public override sealed void method. So let's try to create another class. Let's give derived class and inheritance from test, and let's overwrite. Can't see method. Let's delete that one. I'm just trying to remember what it is. As you can see, yeah, I'm not using sealed right now, and I'm trying to overwrite one more time, okay? Because its base method is virtual, and overwrite just for one time, and I use inheritance again. I'm trying to overwrite this method again. Base.method, as you can see, right? But I'm not gonna use it. If I would like to cancel overriding after the first override, I need to add sealed. It means I'm sealing this method here. It cannot be override again, and we got error message here. As you can see, cannot override inherited member because it is sealed. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna make this comment. Perfect. And we have a sealed class. What is sealed class then? If I say sealed here, as you can see, it cannot we cannot use inheritance. Cannot derive from sealed type test. It is sealed here. We cannot use test to create a relationship between derived class. Yeah. Now I'm gonna comment this one as well. Perfect. I assume you understand inheritance perfectly. Now I'm going to commit my changes. Inheritance lessons. We are in development. Commit all. Save and commit. Perfect. Let's close it. Switch to the main. Right click on development. Merge dev into main. No conflict. Merge. Perfect. If you crush the like button, I will be appreciated, guys. It really motivates me to create new contents. And if you have any questions, do not forget to drop comment below the video. Take care of yourself. See you on next lesson. Bye bye.